What is up, Facebook? How are you all doing today? I am so excited, as always, for this training because we're going to talk about copy. We're going to talk about how to elevate your copy, and we're going to make sure that we give you the upgrades that you need in order to have more conversions through your copy. So, I'm going to go on Instagram live now and pray to God that they don't kick me out like last time. So I'm going to keep this one brief. So I think they cut you off after 7 minutes. I found out this recently. What is up, Instagram? How are you all doing today? I am in my new place and I'm so excited to give you this 4 reasons why your copy is not converting and how to fix it. Last time, Instagram kicked me out like 100 times. So I'm going to keep this short and it's going to be powerful. So this is for all of you who are coaches, you are creators, you are writing copy, you are writing posts, and you are not seeing conversions. You're seeing people like it, maybe engage, but they're not actually buying from you. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you 4 upgrades that you can implement right away in your copy so you can start seeing more conversions. And this was inspired because I was coaching one of my clients inside of the Momentum Mastermind, and I do copy coaching revisions inside of the Momentum Mastermind myself. So we meet every Wednesday, and for a whole hour, I review everyone's copy and I just make it come alive. And as I was reviewing people's copy, the same 4 things came up. And so I was inspired to create this training to give you guys these upgrades so that you can implement them yourself. And if you desire to receive coaching on this personally by me, so I can review all your copy, so I can make sure we can make sure that your copy is actually converting, I want to invite you to join the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, because when you do, you get access to my higher level mastermind, the Momentum Mastermind, for the entire time until we start Magnetize, which is going to be next year in February. So right now, that's the early bird bonus. You get $1,000 off. You get access to Momentum, to these calls that I'm talking about. And you also get a one-on-one messaging mastery session with me, which is $3,000. You get it included. This is gonna go away next year. So make sure that you are curious. If you want to elevate your message, if you want to attract premium clients, you take advantage of those bonuses right now because they're going away on December 30th. Cool? I also have to tell you that I have this this surprise that I'm going to be revealing at the end of this live stream, which is going to be related to the training for next week. So if you guys actually want my eyes on your stuff, I'm going to give you an opportunity to do that. All right, loves. So let's get started. So here's the thing. Most of you right now are writing copy, you're writing posts, you're creating reels. You're spending a lot of time doing that. It takes time, right, to create copy. And the thing that happens is you follow the common advice of posting valuable content, like value content. But the problem with the mentality of creating value content is that value doesn't convert. People think just post valuable content, share everything you know. No, that's just going to keep you being the inspirational coach out there that is showing up. People like it. People find you inspirational, but they're not feeling the urgency or the desire to invest right now. And so when you follow that common advice of create content that is valuable, you are missing out on conversions. And so in order to create conversions, we need to understand these 4 principles and we need to make sure that we nail them in order for people to really see you as a priority. They don't see you as a nice to have, as a that's cute, maybe later, maybe next year, maybe when I have more money, maybe when the time is right and the weather is right and when my angels say that is the right time to join. Right? Like give value. Yeah, Annabelle says give value is just such a amateur marketing advice, right? Like that worked 5 years ago. Now things are very different. Value doesn't convert. So what really converts is your ability to do 2 things. Communicate the value of your offer in a really clear and concise way, and helping the person that is reading it understand that you get the problem, you have a solution, and your solution is the best solution they can find. And that no matter where you're at in your business, you are capable of doing that. It doesn't matter if you're just, you've been in business for a year or for 10 years, we can always get better at positioning our offer as the most essential thing, especially when the market changes, when there's a war, this and that. There's a million things that happen in the world. COVID happened. There's always going to be things that happen in the world. So you giving value is not going to address the fears that people have about joining your program. So that's one of the most important skills that we can develop. And that's what I teach my clients how to navigate so that they can be fluid and they can have the skill set to really understand what is valuable in the brain of your client and how do you shift the beliefs around what is required in order to get to the result. Gloria says, I need this in my life. You guys, if you want me in your life for 3 whole months, for 5 months, because 2 months you get for free, join the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. Literally this week, I coach my clients and the copy we just made it come alive. Like, I just freaking love doing copy coaching inside of the Momentum Mastermind. By the way, how cute is this tea? There's like a flower there. Isn't that so cute? Okay, I'm gonna move on because I don't want Instagram to kick me out. And I feel like I can do, I know the background is so cute, isn't it? Okay. Let's get started. Things that I don't want you to do in your copy that are I will say this, but I will say it again. We don't want to use social media as our therapy sessions. We don't need to be ranting, complaining. We don't need to be complaining about this and that. Why complaining, ranting, criticizing is not going to attract premium clients? Can somebody tell me in the comments? Why do you think energetically and psychologically, why would that not be aligned with attracting premium clients? And when I say premium, I don't mean people who are going to pay you a bunch of money. What I mean is people who are going to also show up in a premium way, people who are not going to blame, people who don't feel like victims in their world, people who want to take responsibility for their results. Exactly, Annabelle. It screams scarcity. It attracts victims. Exactly. And so when people have this tendency to create marketing that is all about like criticizing this, criticizing that, criticizing this, and they get engagement, you probably see they get a lot of engagement, but it's engagement that doesn't convert to powerful clients. And that's why I've always kind of seen it. Like for me, it's very easy to see. But people love getting attention. People love engagement. People love feeling like they're getting comments. And yeah, drama creates comments. Drama creates comments, but it doesn't create clients or powerful clients. So one, don't do that. This is not the 4 things, but that's just really important things to remember. If you're doing that, you are being lazy and your copy is lazy. You're actually not working on understanding the value of your offer, believing in it, talking about the value of it, understanding how to communicate it. That is how you survive any economic climate. You're not relying on tactics. You're not relying on drama or on scarcity in order to sell, right? Or you're relying on your own ability to communicate the value, which is the most important skill you can develop in your business, okay? Thing number 2 that I don't want you to do before we get into the 4 things that I actually really want to coach you on is, actually I already talked about it, is thinking that you create value, thinking that value posts create clients. They don't. So let me get into what actually needs to happen. So the first element, the first mistake that people make, or one of the reasons why the copy is not converting is because, for example, my client who I was coaching, she was not qualifying people in the first few sentences of the post. So I'm going to read out this. I'm going to keep her anonymous, right? But I'm going to ask you a question. Who is this for? Just have that question as I read this out. Yes, I can give an example of a value post in just a second as I define these, Annabelle. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. Who is this for? So this is how the post started. Hey, I see you. You're great at what you do. But year after year, you find overlooked and undervalued. You know you're capable of so much more, but you don't feel confident in asking assertively. Those are the 3 first sentences. Can you guys tell me who could that be for? Waiting patiently? I know, it's not easy, right? It's not like evident. So not so much victim, but like what I'm saying is, who is a person that would self-identify? Right, it's too vague. Exactly. Bad bitch of marketing. That's your name. I don't know what your name actually is, but that's your handle. So it's not specific enough. It's not qualifying your clients in a way where they're like, yes, that's me. So who she helps actually is professionals, like corporate professionals who want to ascend into a senior position in a company, who feel undervalued, who feel overlooked, and who feel like people who are more in the clique get the promotions instead of them when they are more qualified. So, very important thing that you do in your copy in the first few lines, very, very important, that you help people see that that's for them, that you qualify them. So one of the I can't remember exactly the words that I said, but what I would recommend for her, what I recommended was something like, so I know that as a corporate professional, you go every day into work and feeling undervalued and overlooked, because when you get to work and you talk to your boss, no matter how much you try to bring ideas to the table, they always give the promotion or attention or voice to your peer just because they're more friends with them or because they are closer to them. And that makes you feel frustrated because you dedicate so much of your time to doing extra work, but it's not being seen. Do you see how different that is? We're talking about professionals, corporate professionals. We're talking about exactly the circumstance that they're going through and how it makes them feel and what they want instead, right? Just in the first few lines. So that's the first thing I want you guys to write down. Am I qualifying my clients, my people in the first few lines, in the first line, right? I always make sure that my posts, my reels, it's always says coaches who are talented at what they do, but marketing is not their zone of genius, right? That they know, who are experienced, but marketing is not their zone of genius. I make sure that that's always somewhere in there in the very beginning. So things like, I see you, I feel you, I know that you are this and that, but you're not being precise. Precision is the key to conversions. Precision is the key to conversions. Okay, I'm gonna move through these fast because I could keep on going, but I wanna make sure Instagram doesn't kick me out. Okay, thing number 2 is you want to add emotion to your posts. Most of you are talking about the circumstances and the concepts that you think your clients need to understand in order to buy. But people don't buy based on understanding circumstances, although that's a really good beginning. They buy when they feel you understand them, you get them, and you are touching the core emotions that they're secretly not even wanting to admit they feel. So, for example, if you are, one way to elevate your copy is to talk about the circumstance that is actually happening in their lives. So instead of saying something like, I know that you want to fulfill your potential, which a lot of coaches do. That could be a life coach, that could be a career coach, that could be a business coach, that could be a who knows coach, right? Fulfilling your potential is completely vague, right? And it doesn't add any emotion. So first step, talk about a circumstance. What does the circumstance of fulfilling your potential look like? If that's, let's say, if you're a career coach, right? So fulfilling your potential is getting the promotion you always dreamed of. That's an example. I know that you want to get the promotion that you know you deserve and that you've always dreamed about. That's very different than I help you fulfill your potential, right? So now that's a circumstance. The feeling, the emotion goes underneath. So why that is important to them. Why does that feel maybe right now scary, limited, or it feels like it's never going to happen? But right now you feel undervalued and overlooked no matter how much effort you put into your work. And the way that you want to wake up every morning is feeling like your contribution matters, that your voice matters, that you don't want to miss a day at work because your presence is essential where you work, where people actually want to invite you to the most important meetings because your opinion matters. You want to feel important. You want to feel like you are being taken into consideration, you're noticed, whatever that is. I just gave a random example. But do you see how talking about a circumstance that is vague doesn't convert? People are not going to understand what fulfilling your potential is. So you want to be specific in the circumstance, how they wake up feeling, how they go about their day, the small moments in the day when they have thoughts, they have feelings, what it makes them do, and be specific about the feeling of what they are currently experiencing and how they want to feel instead. So many people don't do that, and they just talk about features, they talk about benefits, they talk about concepts like relationship coaches talk about like childhood trauma, right? Or even like one of my clients, he is helping corporate professionals wake up and love their job and eventually get a new position. And he talks a lot when he walks through people through their offer on live streams. He started talking about healing your childhood trauma. And it's like, that's not what people are thinking about. They're not thinking about healing my childhood trauma when they want a promotion. They wake up every day thinking, I really don't like my job. I don't want to go to work. Like, I don't feel good. I feel undervalued. They feel all these feelings. And so what is important is that you address that when you are talking about your offer, and you allow them to see that there is a different way that they can wake up feeling, right? And experiencing life. So he's painting the picture of the emotion and the circumstance that they're going to be experiencing. Is that clear? This is a little more advanced. So this is why if this is a little bit wobbly for you, it's because maybe you haven't mastered the foundational principles, but I do want to give you advice that it's not basic, that you haven't heard already before, because this is what makes your copy come alive. Okay? So be specific on the circumstance and be specific on the feeling and the emotion. Don't talk about concepts that people don't get. People don't know what childhood trauma, like their inner child. Maybe your ideal client is advanced enough to understand that, but what you would want to say is, I can help you understand why when you walk into the breakout room, you feel like everyone's talking behind your back. So that you walk away every day actually feeling like that doesn't bother you. These things don't get to you. These things don't even bother you anymore. And you have a great relationship with all your peers, and they actually want to hang out with you. They want to be around you. That is the thing that you want to talk about, because healing childhood trauma is going to help them create that result. They're not thinking about healing the trauma. They're thinking about going to work and experiencing people who are kind of assholes, right? But that childhood trauma helps you completely resolve any insecurities you have around feeling like you're the one left out, feeling like you're the one who doesn't belong, right? So it's so important that we understand we are trying to sell concepts and modalities, and that's not the thing that people are wanting to invest in. They don't see it as an important, urgent thing to invest in, okay? Okay. Thing number 3, we're going to thing number 3. Yeah. Thing number 3 is so important, and this is going to help you convert way more. People talk about value content. So Annabelle was asking, what is value content? And give me an example. So valuable content is like 3 tips to help you do blank, right? That has a place in your marketing strategy. Good for reels, capturing people, Like it's good for the stage 1, which is visibility. It can get you visible. It can get you like informative, right? But if you just rely on that kind of content, you're not going to convert clients. So you need to have like 10% of your content allocated to like 3 tips you need in order to create more clients, or 3 tips you need in order to have a better relationship. Things like that are informative. Value-based content, tips, things like that. But what is important is that content that actually converts is content that speaks about the elephant in the room. There are many types, right? And I teach my clients 9 types of high converting content, but I'm going to talk about one of them right now. So content that speaks about the elephant in the room. So I was talking to one of my clients yesterday, and she was saying, I was talking about why some of her calls were not converting, or I think they weren't showing up to her sales calls. One of those 2 things, I can't remember exactly what it was. And when it comes to like pricing objections, which people have a lot, then I started coaching her, and she actually had the same fears as her clients around money, around investing, around all those things. And I said, great, have you actually coached yourself on that? And she's like, nah, I haven't really. So my question was, why not? Number one, so if you have any objections around any fears you have about investing, about time, about making your own decisions instead of asking your husband, about whatever the objection that you're getting is, I want you to coach yourself or receive coaching around why that's actually not the frame to think about or to think through. And instead, use your self coaching, which is something that I teach my clients how to do so that they always find the solutions inside of their own mind and their hearts. Use that self coaching to speak about the elephant in the room, which is if people are afraid of investing, let's talk about it. So, for example, some of you might be considering joining the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, but you may have a lot of fears around money because there's a lot of uncertainty in the world. And that makes total sense. It makes sense that people are just being a little bit more cautious around their investments, right? So I would, number one, you want to validate people's objections because it makes sense that people have fears. We cannot invalidate people's feelings. They have them, whether you agree or not. That is irrelevant. The important thing is that you stay validating, understanding, empathizing with the other person's feelings. So if you know that your clients might be thinking, I don't know if this is important enough. I don't know if this is the thing that I need to invest in right now. I could wait. My relationships could wait. Right now, this and this and that is more important. I want to buy a car. I want to buy a new couch. I think that's more important. Like anything that they might think about, I want you to ask yourself, do you think that is more important to invest in something else than your own personal growth, than your own personal elevation, than your own personal coaching? Do you believe that there's something more important? And if the answer is yes, then I want to ask you why. Why do you think that buying a house or buying a car or buying something is more important than your relationship, is more important than your motherhood, is more important than your business? And when I get on the phone with my clients, when I coach them, it's like I am able to position their offer as the most important thing and to give them the language and the mindset to use in order for them to see themselves and see their offer as the most important investment anyone can make right now. Let's say with motherhood. So one of my clients helps women master the art of motherhood, even in the midst of chaos, so they can go from reactive to calm and build an unbreakable bond with their children, which is, by the way, something that we came up with yesterday, which is so good. She was saying something like, I help mothers create emotional regulation so that they don't pass the traumas to their children, which was fine, but it wasn't converting as high, it wasn't as relevant. So she was like, yeah, but maybe people won't invest. And I said to her, think about all the reasons why the most important thing we can do as women is learn how to master ourselves, our ability to be a mother, because we don't get a playbook, right? And how is becoming a more calm mother going to impact my job? How is that going to impact my marriage? How is that going to impact every other area of my life? It's the most important thing you can do. But do you ask yourself that question when it comes to your offer? Or do you think, yeah, it's not really that important? Yeah, I don't know about it. Notice your thoughts about your offer. If you have thoughts that it's not that important, you are going to receive the same from your audience. Your audience reflects back to you your own beliefs about your offer, yourself, and themselves, right? Like if you think they don't have the money, they're going to show up with money objections. I do not believe my audience doesn't have money. I do not believe all of you are not resourceful. I believe that all of you are resourceful. I believe that all of you want to receive support. I believe that all of you want to work with me. I believe that all of you put it up on the vision board to be part of the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. I believe that all of you are so ready, so committed, and you want to do it, and you are ready to join. Like that's just my current thoughts about my constant thoughts about my audience. And so I'm curious, what are yours? What are your thoughts? And are you speaking about the elephant in the room that they might be also thinking? Because I think it's true. We cannot deny the economy is going It's a thing. We can have thoughts about it, right? We cannot deny the reality that we're living in, right? It's our jobs as marketers and as salespeople to be able to understand how our offer is the most relevant thing anyone can do right now. Rebecca says, so good. Yeah, your audience will reflect your own beliefs back to you. Amen. Oh my God, I have a call with my copywriter in 1 minute, so I have to fly through the next one. Okay, the last one is simple but important. And I guarantee you guys are doing this no matter how advanced you are. You are being too broad in your language. Okay. And when I say that, I mean similar to what I said in the beginning about like, I can help you expand your own potential and I can help you feel, or I can help you, have freedom and peace in your life. All of these things are just way too general. So the question that I want you to ask yourself is to make sure that you're being specific enough is, okay, emotional regulation, right? Which is what my client was trying to sell. I help mothers with emotional regulation. I was like, what does that look like? What do you mean by that? And then she explained, well, moms sometimes get really reactive around their children and they then just feel shame and they don't want to be those kinds of mothers. I'm like, okay, so they don't want to be reactive. Now we have a more specific result, right? Or a specific point to start. Then what do they want instead? Oh, well, they want to act calm. They want to be calm no matter what happens in their day to day. I'm like, great. So you help mothers master, or you help women master the art of motherhood so they can go from feeling reactive to feeling calm. And then, even more specific, something that they desire is to build an unbreakable bond with their children. That is a really specific desire that people have, right? So I want you to really look at in your copy, are you being broad? Are you being general? Is that speaking to a specific person? Is that specifically addressing their circumstances? I call them minute-to-minute manifestations of the problem. I have a whole lesson on it. And when my clients apply that, literally their copy just comes alive because they understand what to do in order for their audience to have this sensation in their bodies of like, oh my God, she or he, like, they really get me. How do they know? And this is what my clients tell me all the time, like, how do you know? And it's because I have mastered the art, or I continue to master the art of precision in the language. And it comes from just being really connected to your own. It's just a deep level of empathy. And that's why all of you who are watching, you have it in you. You are coaches. You have a deep level of empathy. We just need to translate that ability to be empathetic to your messaging, to your marketing is way easier than you think. So if any of these resonated, if you guys want to learn the art of writing content, creating videos that really land with your audience in a deep, deep way and attract premium clients, I want to invite you to apply to the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. In 3 months, I help you elevate your message so that you can attract premium clients. I help you clarify your offer so that you're not selling 300 things, but we sell really 1 or 2 offers that are going to just bring your revenue to a much higher level without you having to launch a million things every month. I help you clarify your message so you can attract those premium clients. Then we grow your audience to make sure you're showing up in front of the right people. And once you start doing that, people are going to start raising their hands. And you'll be like, Juliana, what do I do with all these people who are raising their hands to want to work with me? I show you my pre-qualification process so that people go from being a stranger to being pre-motivated and pre-qualified before they show up on the phone with you. And the last step is learning how to actually hold space for that moment in the sales process, on the sales call, where you actually have a completely different approach that I teach you, where you hold beautiful space for a big decision that people need to make. And you know how to navigate the fears that they have so that you don't feel like you need to exit the call because you feel nervous, you don't know what to say, you don't know, you're over talking, you're talking too much or not talking enough, you're rejecting. All those patterns, we melt them away so that sales become like one of your favorite things in your business. So when you join, remember, you get access to my higher level mastermind right now, the Momentum Mastermind. And I coach you until we begin so you can get started getting results right away. Like one of my clients, Amy, she joined a week and a half ago, the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, and she's taken advantage of the Momentum bonus, Momentum Mastermind coaching bonus. And she's already made her investment back, $9,900 right away. So it's the best time to join. You're going to have way more time with the content before we begin. You'll have time to settle with everything and start creating results. You get my coaching. I'm not going on vacation, you guys, for the first time in forever because I'm furnishing my house and that's like what I want to do. So I decided that I'm just going to coach through the whole time. And that fills my heart with joy because I'm going to be home. It just feels good. So I will be there in your corner, end of the year, beginning of the year, and then all the way out from February through to May in your corner inside of the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. And you also get $1,000 off. Okay, I'm 4 minutes late to the call with my copywriter, so I need to go. But if you have any questions, send me a message. If you're like, I'm not sure if this is right for me, can we chat it out? Send me a message. We can voice back and forth. And other than that, fill out the application. If you're like, yes, this is what I want, I don't want to wait, fill out the application. I'll read through it. I make sure you're the right fit. I do not let anyone in unless I believe you're going to crush it. So I definitely decline people because I believe that maybe they need more of a foundation. So just know that my offer, my invitation is going to be clean and with 100% certainty that you're going to kill it. Okay? Love you all so much. And I will see you guys next week. Oh my God, I didn't tell you. I'm going to do another live stream, like revealing the thing that we're doing next week for the Thursday training. Okay. Love you all. Bye.